Good evening. Welcome. It's so exciting to see such a great crowd for our Distinguished Alumni and Hall of Fame ceremony. Thank you so much for coming. Traditionally, our Alumni Board President would open these proceedings this evening, but Henry Snyder is our newly elected Alumni Board President, and he is currently in Harvard Grad School, and his very strenuous course schedule will not let him get here this evening, but he does extend his congratulations to all of our honorees and inductees this evening. So thank you to everyone for coming, and I will now welcome our distinguished President, Milton Moreland, to the stage to officially get us going.
Thank you, Krista, and nice seeing everybody here. We decided to try a little different timing. We usually break this out on Saturday morning. But nice to have a Friday evening event and to see so many great alumni and friends, faculty, coaches, and a lot of current players. So thanks for coming out and supporting what is a great tradition. For 61 years at Center College, we have celebrated great alumni, and the Alumni Association has selected some very special people. And if you are one of those people who in prior years has been awarded with a Hall of Fame or a Alumni Association award, could you please stand and be recognized at this point? Got a few in the room? Welcome back, and hope you have a great homecoming. This homecoming is special for lots of reasons, including the fact that we're cutting the ribbon on some new spaces around this campus, and for the first time in the history of the college, we've got this Olympic pool that is being used right now for a swimming meet, which is very fun to see. This college just keeps moving forward. Dina and I learned very early upon coming to Center, now almost 4.5 years ago, during a pandemic, but coming to Center and seeing what homecoming meant and seeing what alumni mean to this college. It is incredible to know that this college not only impacts your trajectory for the 4 years you're here, and it's amazing what students do in those 4 years, but it impacts you for the rest of your life. And the stories of the touch points, 10 years out, 20 years out, 50 years out, 60 years out, the community, the so-called mafia, I don't mind, the opportunity to network, to help each other, to support each other, the ways in which I talk to alumni across the country and across the world who say, my 10 closest friends I met at Center College. That is standard fare for this school. And believe me, it is unusual, but it is a beautiful thing. So we celebrate our alumni tonight through these opportunities to honor these wonderful people. And let me just say, you're all going to be recognized, but as a group, congratulations, congratulations. You are amazing people, and we're so glad to be able to honor you tonight. Thanks for coming. So I have the honor of inviting up a wonderful alum himself, class of 2001, our college chaplain, Jason Crosby. He is going to make a brief tribute to one of our past distinguished alumni, Father Norman Fisher, who we lost just a few months ago very suddenly, and a very, very, very special person to many of us, many of you, and to many around this Commonwealth and around this country. So I invite Jason to the stage as we continue our program.
Good evening. Yes, as President Moreland mentioned, we will take a few moments tonight to remember Father Norman Fisher. Father Fisher was a native of Boyle County. He graduated from Boyle County High School in 1991, and that fall he began attending Center. Classroom influences that were significant to him include Dr. Bill Johnston, Dr. Michael Hamilton, Dr. Phyllis Passarello, and Stephen Powell. Father Norman was also inspired by Ann Young, who is with us tonight, who led many efforts to serve the community. Father Norman recalled that Ann made it fun and exciting to do service before the time when it was required to do so. Father Norman was an officer in Center's Black Student Union. He competed on Center's track team in sprinting events and triple jump. Father Norman also enjoyed participating in the play To Kill a Mockingbird while at Center. After he left, Father Norman influenced many lives through his career as a priest. He was the first priest of African American and Filipino descent in the Diocese of Lexington. He went on to serve for many years as the chaplain at Lexington Catholic High School and as the parish priest at St. Peter Claver in Lexington. Recently, he was elected as the president of the National Black Catholic Clergy Caucus. And in 2021, Center awarded him the recognition of Distinguished Alumnus. Sadly, he died suddenly and unexpectedly on July the 15th this past summer. Tonight, we are honored and humbled to have with us two of Father Norman's nieces. With us tonight are Rachel Hahn, a recent high school graduate herself from Lexington Catholic, and she is now a freshman at Eastern Kentucky University. Also, his niece, Therese Booth, is with us as well. She is in 6th grade. Thank you all for being here. At this time, Rachel is going to offer a few remarks drafted by her mother, Maria, that cannot be with us tonight for a good and understandable reason. Tonight is the big annual fundraiser at St. Peter Claver back in Lexington. That's where she needs to be, but we're doubly grateful that Rachel is willing to be present and share some words with us tonight. Thank you, Rachel.
Good evening. I'm Rachel Fisher Hahn, the niece of Father Norman Fisher Jr. While my mother, Maria Fisher Booth, was not able to attend tonight, I stand before you in her stead. She and my grandparents are attending the annual St. Peter Claver Gala this evening in Lexington, but send their love and gratitude for honoring their son, brother, and my uncle. Since my mother could not make it, I will share what she wrote. Our daddy, Norman Fisher Sr., had a saying growing up: all you have in this life is your reputation. Make sure it's good. Our beloved Father Norman made good on that. As we keep hearing, Father Norman was a dear friend to so many, and it didn't start with him being a priest. He had his Perryville posse from grade school days, his Boyle County school friends and bandmates, and of course his Center College family. While Father was a student here, he was active in sports, the arts, student activities, and of course fraternity life as a Sigma Chi. Father loved Center. The gift of Father Norman is that he always made everyone feel they had a trusted friend in him. His freshman roommate, Rodney Simon, felt blessed to call Father Norman not just a friend, but a brother. Father helped Rodney grapple with the loss of his mother during his first year at college, and Father would become a mainstay in the Simon family, as an adopted son and eventually family priest, celebrating life's full circle through baptizing, marrying, and burying. But it wasn't just one person. He was a priest, counselor, brother, or best friend too. He was like that with everyone whom he met. He worked his way into so many lives here on Center's campus, from Sue at Cohen Hall to staff like Ann Young and faculty, especially our beloved Stephen Powell. May he rest in peace. Please don't think he was perfect. I think it is safe to say that if it had anything to do with paperwork, it may be late or not properly filled out. But when we pull back on his life, what does God want us to learn? that we need to have excellent administrative skills, or that we are here to live our life with one mission, to get to heaven, and to do that by living a life pleasing God. Do not for one moment think that Father Norman is gone. He is here guiding me and so many others when we are lost or need clarity by sending us little reminders of God's goodness and faithfulness through a random feather, big beautiful butterflies, a dragonfly staring me down, and of course his favorite rainbows. And don't let it be a double rainbow. Whenever you see these, let it be a reminder of God and that we took loving care over Father Norman's life. And if he did it for him, God does it for all. Before I close, congratulations to the incoming distinguished alumni. You're in good company. God bless you all. Love and peace, Maria Fisher Booth. Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel, for being with us this evening and for sharing those words. I pray that you and your family will know that the Center College community, Danville, Boyle County, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and beyond feels the absence of your uncle's presence and will not soon forget him. We will do our best to honor his memory by living in accordance with values he cherished, like kindness and compassion. And we will strive to help members of future generations see how they can change the world for the better with simple, kind words and deeds. Unfortunately, Father Norman is not the only member of the center community that we have lost to positively change lives in recent days. So at this time, I invite you to pause for a brief moment of silence to remember others who have died, who were a part of this community and made either your world or our world better. Amen. Thank you, everyone. It is now my pleasure to welcome Brad Fields, Center's Athletic Director, to the podium to begin tonight's ceremony.
Thank you, Jason. While Center College has a long and rich tradition of high achievement in intercollegiate athletics, dating back more than 100 years, the Hall of Fame has been in existence for little over 3 decades. Established in 1992 with a charter class of 13 inductees, today only 157 individuals and 4 teams can claim membership in the prestigious group. I would invite members of the audience to visit the new digital Hall of Fame display that opened this week on the 2nd floor of Sutcliffe Hall. Now, on behalf of my colleagues in Center Athletics and on behalf of the Hall of Fame Committee, I'm pleased to introduce in alphabetical order the 5 newest members of the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame. Please turn your attention to the video screen behind me as we present the captain of the first Center women's soccer team to reach the NCAA tournament, Kate Anderson, class of 2009.
When you think of Kate Anderson, I think the first thing that comes to mind is a natural leader. You know, as a coach, you want your players to be confident, assured that they're going to make good decisions both off and on the field, and that they have the ability to put themselves second, their teammates first. And Kate embodied everything you would want out of a coach. She certainly has made a high standard for all Center soccer players to live by. And so when we were able to get her here, I knew we had a leader right away. Kate had a way with talking to her teammates. She knew what was right and wrong, but she knew how to get the best out of players as well. And when her junior senior came around, she embodied that and embraced it. And to this day, it's arguably one of the best leaders we've had. You leave Center, but Center doesn't leave you. And that's the truth with our program. I don't think from day one, when she's left, she doesn't stop thinking about this program and how it changed her life.
It is my pleasure to formally induct Kate Anderson into the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the biggest picture of my face I've ever seen. It's pretty aggressive. I am deeply honored and humbled to be inducted into the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame tonight. This is a moment I will cherish for the rest of my life. It was truly a surprise to receive this award, especially because as I read the email notifying me of this honor, I was laid up on a couch recovering from a back injury from simply picking my daughter up out of a crib. So I don't really feel like a Hall of Famer anymore, but my husband keeps reminding me about how special this is. Something like 150 athletes have gotten this honor, and I happen to be very close with a few people who have received this honor before. Two of them are here tonight. And I've always had a hard time articulating how special Center was to me, and specifically the Center soccer program. In fact, it wasn't until last year when I listened to my friend Adam Boyer's speech, when he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, that I got it. I heard what I've been trying to articulate for years. And it was the program and this school helped me to feel seen. It helped me to feel like I was part of something bigger. At a time in my life when I was trying to figure out who I was and what I wanted to be, Center Soccer allowed me to express myself exactly how I wanted. It was an outlet for competitiveness and aggression. It was a chance to be confident, commanding, and fearless. The school and this program helped make me who I am, and for that, I'm forever grateful. I want to take a moment to thank the Hall of Fame Selection Committee for giving this honor to a defensive player. Some of my friends called me Stonewall, regrettably a Confederate general. Nevertheless, I appreciate the sentiment. I don't have stats like goals or assists or shutouts like goalkeepers, but I have a darn good win-loss record. For that reason, this honor is not for me, it's for my team. I'm so old to be crying in public. To my incredible teammates, my friends, my soulmates, the countless hours we spent practicing, the challenges we overcame, and the victories we celebrated together made this journey unforgettable. Thank you for pushing me to be my best and for making every moment memorable. Whew. To my parents, words cannot express how grateful I am for your unwavering support and love. You have been my rock through every high and low. All of my successes are yours. To my brother, thank you for making me your wrestling dummy and dropping the people's elbow on my stomach as a kid. Thanks to you, I was never afraid of a hard hit. Next, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Coach Jay Hoffman. Jay, thank you for giving me the space to be me on this team, fostering my play on the field, and being my biggest fan off of it. Thank you for recruiting my best friends to join this team, and thank you for successfully raising our program into the competitive force it is today. Also, congratulations on your 300th win. It's incredible. To everybody who, being part of your team was one of the greatest privileges of my life. To everyone who came out to support me, my husband, unfortunately a transy grad, but he has some redeeming qualities. He happens to be an incredible partner and the best husband and father I could ever have asked for. To my in-laws, my sister-in-law, my nephew, my non-CWS friends who showed up tonight, and Center itself, thank you for all the years of support and love. And finally, to the current and future student athletes, and to my 3 daughters who are doing great up there. I hope you find passions in your life that allow you to feel seen, make you feel part of something larger than yourself, and help you to form friendships that last a lifetime. Thank you once again for this incredible honor.
Our second inductee this evening is the leading rebounder and fourth leading scorer in Center women's basketball history. Paige Bakley, class of 2014. Please turn your attention to the video screen.
Paige Bakley was a coach's dream. If you had to define what leader by example is, it's Paige Bakley, because nobody was more competitive and nobody was going to outwork her during the year or in the off season. Her work ethic in the off season, I think, was what made her such a great player. Her development was amazing, and that's a credit to her work ethic. She was a great defender, great offensive person for her to be the conference player of the year her junior year, and then she led the nation in double-doubles in scoring and rebounding her senior year and was an All-American her senior year. I mean, she was just automatic on the court. All credit to Paige. Paige was a great competitor. She loved winning. She wasn't scared of the moment. She shined in the moment. I think for Coach Campbell and I, the big moment we knew that Paige was going to be great was in her sophomore year in the conference tournament, when she was so big in the conference tournament. Paige is one of those players that I will always be so thankful I had the opportunity to coach.
Before I welcome Paige up here, I did just want to share, so our women's soccer team left. They delayed their departure 3 hours to be here for Kate, and so they're on the road. They're going to hop on the bus and head down to Rome, Georgia for a game tomorrow. So if you saw them exit, they're going to do that. At this time, though, I'd like to welcome, I would ask that you join me in welcoming Paige Bakley into the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Well, thank you, Brad. And first, I'd like to thank everyone at the Center Athletics Hall of Fame Committee for thinking of me for this incredible honor. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected for such an honor. I also would like to congratulate my fellow 2024 inductees. Some of you I know better than others, but I know we all share the same love for competition, love for our individual sports, and love for the teams around us. I'm truly honored to be standing up here beside these exceptional athletes. As I know this is an individual honor, I'm nothing without my teammates, my coaches, and my family. To my teammates and some of my very best friends, thank you. Not just for the times on the court, but off the court too. I came to Center not knowing a soul, but was immediately scooped up by Angela and Stovey and the rest of the team. It wasn't really an option. We hang out together a lot. Preseason scrimmages, practices, and games and travel, sure, that's expected, but we would go to Cowan before air guitar practice or shotgun golf after open gym and Guadis on any random night or even spring break in our matching tanks every year. We were a true family, and though we were very different, we meshed together so well and learned so much from each other. We learned scrappy defense from Stovey and Alana, work ethic from Aubrey and Alexis. We got our laughs from Angela and Mary Gordon. Our dance moves from Liz and Maggie Hartledge. Style was inspired by Bridget. Quiet leadership from Lauren and Rachel. We got our music fix from Allison and Jane. Chelsea and Jenna provided the intensity. Izzy and Kaylin made sure everyone didn't worry too much. And Maggie Pruitt was always reminding us that you can never shoot too many shots. We all had good and bad days, games and practices. We cried a little, laughed a lot, challenged each other, lifted each other up, knocked each other over, elbowed each other in the face, picked each other back up, and most of all, loved each other no matter what. We wanted to be our best for each other, not any given stat line, and that's what made us so successful individually by default, but more so as a team. I owe so much of my success to my teammates and their belief in me, so from the bottom of my heart, thank you. We have to credit our coaches for this bond that we had, as they always taught us to love each other first. Coach Austin was our mom away from home and was always exactly who we needed her to be. Intense during a slouchy practice, making us run 16s at the end, but always all welcoming comedic relief with Mary Gordon's signature arm cheer. Coach Campbell was always the intensity we needed and craved in competition. He was constantly researching and updating us on other teams and players, feeding our competitiveness. TY was always there at the end of the bench for a good focus up page or stop fouling page or atta girl page or where's your mouth guard page. I am so grateful for these coaches and trainer who impacted my career so greatly and who always pushed me to be my very best. Now for my parents, I'll never be able to thank you as much as you deserve. To my mom and my biggest cheerleader and very first coach, thank you for starting me young and teaching me the game of basketball. Thank you for teaching me to always box out and use my body to get to the ball. I owe all these rebounds to you. Thank you for the late night meals, countless miles of driving to and from practices and games, for giving me the opportunity to play the game that I love. And to my dad, my personal stat keeper, he knew long before I did that I was competing for the most double-doubles in D3. If you know my dad, which many of you don't, he's very calm and collected. That is, unless I only have 3 rebounds and 4 points at halftime. He was always counting, and I guess I'm responsible for those gray hairs on his head. Not that there are very many. Thank you for the quiet motivation, and sorry for stressing you out so much. To my very biggest fan, my little sister, thanks for putting those long arms to use and being my dedicated rebounder in the summertime. I really made you work. Thanks for spending your weekends during middle and high school years to come cheer me on, not that you had a choice. Thanks to my brother for your support from afar, and thanks to my husband, my rock. Thank you for sharing in and always understanding my competitive spirit. Thank you for pushing me to be my best always and supporting me no matter what. You're a major part of who I am and what I have accomplished. I look forward to kicking your butt in one-on-one on our new outside hoop very soon. And to my kids, Quinn and Graham, though I have found tremendous joy in basketball over the years, I have since learned that there is no greater feeling than watching you grow and learn, hearing you laugh, seeing you smile, or getting a big squeeze hug. I hope you find a love for sport and competition, but I can't wait to support your dreams, whatever they may be. I'm so blessed to have been able to play basketball surrounded by and supported by the people I love for all these years. Thank you again for this incredible honor. It is truly one of the most meaningful and personal honors I've ever received, and I'm so proud and flattered to be up here today. Go Colonels.
We're going to keep the basketball theme going with our third inductee, Thomas Britt, class of 2008, was the SCAC Player of the Year in a season that saw Center men's basketball set a program record for wins.
Well, statistically, you look, he's an All-American, second-team All-American. Also, statistically, you look, the winningest team in Center College history. Just Thomas's impact on the program from a personal standpoint. There's nobody more fiery. His teammates know that. And also, there's nobody more clutch. I mean, he hit numerous last-second shots to win games. Early in his career, he was easily our best defender. Again, he was competitive. You know, if you hit him with a screen, he was going to remember it. He was going to get you back. Offensively, his senior year had about as special a season as I've ever seen. I mean, he shot 45% and above from three-point. Many times as a coach, you have to go in every halftime and give a little bit of a message, and sometimes that can be tiring if you have to do it 25 times. There were a couple times in Thomas's career where I just let him go and speak from the heart, and it just, I mean, obviously today he's a radiologist, really bright guy, very competitive guy. His teammates love him.
Please join me in welcoming Thomas Britt to the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Break this. All right, let's see if this old phone works. So, unfortunately, you know, we missed the age of AI writing our speeches, so I just had ChatGPT put most of this stuff down for me, so we'll see what goes. I was told I have 25 minutes, so we'll try to keep it under that. Like we said before me, I'd like to thank the committee for this recognition. It truly is special. I remember like it was yesterday walking down that hallway and looking at all those plaques on the wall and seeing all the pictures, the names, the old gray pictures, and looking at all their accomplishments and thinking, how awesome that was for them. I never really thought, honestly, that I would be up here. It really is a blessing. More so now because I've seen a lot of people that I went to school with or other friends that I've made already be inducted into this, and then to be able to join them is truly something special. And honestly, that was the first thing I thought of when I got the notice that I was going to be here tonight. I can assure you, despite what Coach Mason just said, that I'm probably one of the least qualified people to ever be standing up here. You can read through the bios of these people, and it is very, very impressive. It's truly an honor to be next to them. Probably never would have been here if not for a crazy old man named Eddie Mason coming to my high school basketball games, giving me thumbs ups from across the gym for really no reason. The training staff and managers that we had here, as was mentioned before, were just amazing. They kept us on the court. They kept our heads straight. They completed our team. Coach Mason deserves a lot of credit for this. He's been here for, a long time now, probably 20 years. I remember one of the first times I saw him at school, he was trying to bench press 115 pounds in the weight room. I'd say he's probably still trying to bench press that 115 pounds. We included a picture of him up here, and he had very dark hair and a lot of it. He does not look that way anymore, but neither do I, so that's okay. There have been a lot of teams that have come through Center that were very talented. I think you would be hard-pressed to find teams that had more talent than ours had. There were so many good players at so many positions for so many years. Genuinely, any one of those people could be standing here instead of me right now. It's only because of them that I made it here. Our friendships, our chemistry was amazing. There were never arguments. It was just a lot of fun for a long time. One teammate I have to call out was my roommate for 4 years and my backcourt mate. He got into this, I think, the day you were eligible to be in. They probably had a special ceremony for him. His name's Matt Nestide. He's here tonight. They sent a list to us of our accomplishments, and I was like, I probably need to fluff this up a little bit. It looks a little sparse. So I went back to the conference website, the SCAC, the SCAC website, which is still around, and I found an old record book, and so I searched my name and found a couple things, and there was about 40 straight pages where Matt's name was listed in about every category. It's no surprise that he's the best basketball player to ever walk through Center's door, but his records pale in comparison to how great of a person he is, and I certainly would not be here without him. I need to thank my family. My wife is here with our kids. She's been around for a long time. She was here during these basketball games and trips and recognized by many officials during and after the games. It's a true story. Very lucky to have her with me for all of that time. My younger brother, who came to so many practices and games and tournaments and never complained. My older brother, who I wanted to be like so badly growing up and still do to this day. My mom, she sacrificed so much of her time and career to drive us three boys all over the place as we drove her crazy, no doubt. My dad, who's my coach, who's my teacher, is my mentor and my friend. I could not have asked for anyone better to guide me through life. I just hope that my kids one day think of me the way that I think of you. I owe so much to all of these people. Like I said in the beginning, I'm sure I'm one of the least qualified people here, but I can assure you that no one is more grateful for this award. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Our fourth inductee, Ben Hume, class of 2012, was an All-American anchor on the offensive line and the captain of the center football team that played and won its first ever NCAA playoff game.
Well, Ben definitely represented what Center College and Center College athletics represents. He was a student athlete, an outstanding student, but even more so, he was a great leader. He was involved on campus and excelled on the football field. He's a person that a team would look up to because he had all those qualities you look for in a leader. He certainly played it out his senior year, which he certainly received all the accolades because of that. For his size, and you have to understand he's, 6'4", about 300 pounds, but what really made him even better was his agility, quickness, and his speed. He probably was one of the fastest offensive linemen I've ever had. I don't think there's any question Ben could have played at the next level. But one thing that Ben wanted was he wanted something academic. He wanted to have an experience outside of the playing field, and fortunately that center served those purposes for him.
Please join me in welcoming Ben Hume to the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame. There you are.
Like Kate, that is also the largest and hopefully largest ever photo of my face that we'll all have to look at. Let's see here. I missed the email where we were told we were going to be talking tonight until Paige's husband, Ryan, who's one of my classmates, on Monday said, yeah, Paige has full speech ready. She's ready to go. What do you have? And I was like, that's a good question, right? But I do want to say I'm honored to be here. Thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for thinking of me. Like Kate, I have a total of one stat that was ever, I tackled somebody after an interception, I think, and that is the only stat I will ever have. So, but I remember vividly the day that Andy Fry came to my house on a recruiting visit to where I committed to him, told him I wanted to come here. Came on an overnight visit. My parents and I were talking about this today, and I knew this is the place I needed to be. This is the place I wanted to be. I told him that night. His wonderful wife, who I love dearly, was sitting in the car for the entire hour that I kept him in that house that night. Had I known that, I'd have brought her on in. But I do want to say thank you to my coaches, Coach Fry. You came to my baseball games, came to football games. Always made me feel like this was home and this was the place I wanted to be. Always supported me in everything I wanted, and I cannot thank you enough. I want to say a special thanks to Jamal Powell, who was my offensive line coach when I was here. He's not with us anymore, but he is probably one of the three most influential people in my life. He pushed me to be a better person, pushed me to be a better player, and pushed me further than I thought I would ever make it, and probably he thought I would ever make it. And for that, I cannot thank him enough. I want to say thank you to my parents. They trekked all over the country watching me play football. I think they missed one game in 4 years because we were playing in Colorado my freshman year, and they were like, he's just not going to play enough. We don't need to go out there. And then I think I played all but the first 3 series. And came back, and they called me after the game, like, how'd it go? I was like, well, probably the most I've played all year. I wish you were here. But they never missed another snap after that. I cannot thank them enough. My grandmother's here with us tonight. She came to so many games through the years. She's been drug all over the place as well. I cannot thank you all for all the support and love that you all have given me through the years. Last but not least, I want to thank my teammates. Dr. Moreland talked about you find your best friends here. This is one of those places, and I can genuinely say that. I mean, my 10, 15 best friends in the world are from here, each and every one of them. I talk to them all the time. I wouldn't be here without them. You know, football is the ultimate team sport. You got to have 22 people, working, on the field, 11 at a time, and it's, without them, I couldn't do this. I wouldn't be here. I played a position where most of the time the only people that know you are as if you've done something wrong. So they throw a flag at you and say you've committed a penalty, but I can't thank them enough, can't thank my friends enough for coming out. I loved my time here. We always talk about it. This is our favorite place. So glad that I can come back. Thank you all.
And our final Hall of Fame inductee is the most decorated player in the history of Center College field hockey, a first-team All-American, Chelsea Klein, class of 2014.
It was a profound honor and joy to serve as Chelsea's head coach from 2011 to 2013. Although I didn't have the opportunity to recruit Chelsea personally, I was incredibly fortunate in my inaugural year as head coach to inherit such an extraordinary player. Not only was she an All-American caliber athlete, but she also excelled as a student and as an individual. She was a born leader, consistently driving her teammates to excel both on and off the field, while also managing a demanding academic schedule and maintaining one of the highest GPAs on our team. Her senior season remains vivid in my memory. Despite our defeat to Lynchburg in our regular season game and the loss to Rhodes in our conference championship, we secured an outlet bid to the NCAA tournament. A lot of this was attributed to the success that Chelsea brought along with her teammates on the field. The success of the Center Field Hockey Program is a testament to every athlete who has contributed to it since 1960. However, Chelsea Klein played a crucial role in bringing national recognition to the Center Field Hockey Program.
Please join me in welcoming Chelsea Klein to the Center College Athletic Hall of Fame.
Have to lower that quite a bit. It is an absolute honor to be here tonight. Thank you so much to the Hall of Fame committee for this wonderful recognition. When I think back to my time at Center, it is full of fond memories and the best emotions. My time at Center was truly the best time of my life and the best 4 years of my life. My college experience, including being a part of the field hockey team, had a profound effect on me and influenced the person I have become today, which makes it even more special to have been chosen to receive this honor. There are a lot of people without whom I wouldn't be here tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank all my teammates throughout my career at Center. I was blessed to be a part of a team with not only talented players, but also great people, many of whom I have remained close friends with to this day. I'd like to thank our coach, Janelle Anthony Downs. Janelle joined us at the beginning of my sophomore year, and I will admit that I was a bit nervous getting a new coach after just 1 year, but man, was I wrong. Janelle was not only an amazing coach, but she also became a friend. Without her incredible coaching skills, Center Field Hockey would not have accomplished all that it did, not just during my career at Center, but even afterwards. So thank you, Janelle, for always pushing me to be my best and always encouraging me to reach for, and always being in my corner. I'd like to thank my family for always being my biggest supporters and encouraging me to reach for my dreams. I think my parents attended almost every field hockey game of my career at Center, including traveling to the middle of nowhere in Hendricks, Arkansas. For those of you who made that trip in your career, you know how brutal the trip that one is. So thank you to my mom and dad and my brother Casey for always supporting me, no matter the location. And lastly, thank you to my husband, Zach. Our relationship began at Center 13 years ago, so Zach has truly been one of my biggest supporters throughout my career at Center and afterwards. Thank you, Zach, for always encouraging me to reach for my dreams and for being right alongside me every step of the way. And thank you all for being here tonight. It is a privilege to be up here with all these amazing former student athletes. Congratulations to all of the inductees, and thank you again.
Congratulations. Wow, what an impressive new class of Athletic Hall of Fame inductees. We're going to turn now to the alumni recognition part of our ceremony. We began recognizing distinguished young alumni back in 1963. If you're interested, there's a full listing in the program. Very impressive group, and we have 4 more very impressive alumni to join that group this evening. We will start with Brianna Lathon Bluford, who is our Young Alumna Award winner for this year.
Has never been one to let the grass grow under her feet. While in Senator, Brianna, the politics manager, was actively involved on campus as a resident assistant and admissions interviewer. She studied abroad in both Ghana and Strasbourg, France, and was crowned the 2015 Kentucky Derby Festival Queen. After graduating from Center, Brianna applied her drive and energy to completing a JD at the University of Louisville Brandeis School of Law, where she was the president of the Black Law Student Association. She received the Louisville Bar Association's Trailblazer Award in 2018 and later served as chair of the association's Young Lawyer Division. After completing her graduate cum laude from UFL Law, Brianna gained admission to both the Kentucky State and the United States District Court bars. As a legal professional, Brianna has worked for the prestigious Stoll Keenan Ogden firm as a business litigator and as a senior compliance professional for Humana. She is currently senior counsel for the Kentucky Lottery Corporation. In addition to a rising legal career, Brianna serves on the boards of numerous organizations, including the Kentucky Derby Museum, the Louisville Public Media, and Center College. She was recently honored with the Louisville Business First 2023 Inspiring Woman Award.
Say it, yes. Let's please join me in welcoming Brianna as our latest Young Distinguished Alumna.
This is pretty. Good evening. I am truly honored to receive this award. If you know me, you know that Center is incredibly special to me. Half the time you would think that I did undergrad and law school here, because most of the time this is the only school that I talk about. I'm really grateful that I had the opportunity to attend college here. There's a really special transformation that takes place of the heart and the mind here. And it's never lost on me when you're a student on this campus. In fact, I remember when I first got out of law school and I took my first job at Stoll Keenan, we were walking to lunch. And one of the partners, I guess she looked at my resume and she goes, "How do you reconcile that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Right? Because I've been doing that all my life, it felt like, but especially since I got here, just because of the interdisciplinary connections, in my opinion, the things that take place in the classroom with the faculty and the staff and the things that you're exposed to, they make you better. And so you don't have to reconcile it. You just get to stretch and make connections and be a better problem solver and be more efficient. So I'm really grateful to the faculty and staff who challenged me and encouraged me to ask bold questions and to always be in the pursuit of better, right? I definitely bring a sort of why do we do it this way to the workplace that some of my department heads and bosses may not appreciate, but I always like to leave a place better than I found it. I am incredibly grateful to my family. I would not be here without you all. To my parents, I always refer to them as Mr. and Mrs. Make It Happen, because they always said yes, whether it was going to Ghana or to Strasbourg, France, or study away in DC while I was also being the 2015 Derby Queen. The answer was always yes, and they made me believe that I could truly do anything that I wanted to do. I'm also grateful to my grandmothers and my aunt who are here tonight with me. It means a lot that you're here, and I appreciate your support my entire life. Thank you to my husband, who never gets annoyed when I'm like, all right, we have this event and now we have to go to this mixer. He's great. I can leave him alone and he never, ever, ever tries to dull my shine, and I really appreciate that. He's incredibly supportive and I love you. I'm living on answered prayers, some that I have prayed and those that my family members and those around me have prayed for me. I always ask and remember to be a good steward of my talent. And as long as I can help it, I will be glad to help support Center's mission so that more lives and community can be transformed by the students that come and leave this place. Thank you.
Our first distinguished alumna for the evening is Miss Vicki Gillenwater. She has been taking the equestrian world by storm for years, and you're going to hear all about it now.
Horses are a way of life for Vicki Gillenwater. While students at Center, Vicki would rise early to train before classes, flying to competitions as needed, while keeping up with her studies and remaining active on campus. During her first year, Vicki was the team captain for the U.S. Saddle Seat team. She won 4 individual gold medals and a team gold, and was named the 1985 American Saddlebred Grand National Rider of the Year. After graduating from Center with a degree in government, Vicki studied at the University of Tennessee, where she completed her master's in communications. In 2000, just before moving to Washington to take on the role of Deputy Chief of Staff for Congressman John Duncan Jr., Vicki's life path was forever changed when a longtime mentor and friend and the manager of her family farm died suddenly. Both of her parents died in short succession as well, and Vicki found herself back home, where she has spent the past quarter-century making Scenic View Farm one of the best in the industry. When Vicki took over the farm, it had 1 world championship to its name. That number is now an astounding 64 world championships. Vicki's horses have won countless Horse of the Year honors and championships, and Vicki has been honored by the industry numerous times, including with the 2020 ASHA Gordon Jenkins International Award. Vicki was recently inducted into the Greater Knoxville Sports Hall of Fame with its 2024 class.
Congratulations, Vicki.
Well, I feel like I brought a book. I'm going to try to give the cliff notes to this, which I was very familiar with during my days at Center College. Also, in typical Vicki form, which no one in this entire section here, who I am so blessed are here with me tonight, that it did dawn on somebody that at 7 o'clock no one had laid eyes on me. And was I coming to the event, or had I forgotten, which also people would not necessarily be surprised. But I had a little car trouble, and the great news was they did miss me. And it was amazing. The hotel, they got me in action in here tonight, and let's go. I did miss the dinner, though. I was looking forward to that. Bear with me. My life has been all over the board, and in my past life on Capitol Hill, I was Deputy Chief of Staff on Capitol Hill. I was an instructor at the University of Tennessee and the College of Communications, and the Internal Communications Director at the University of Tennessee. Back then, I never struggled for words. As an equestrian, we have a saying that your horse speaks for you, that no one is particularly interested in what the rider has to say, but if that horse is great, it tells the whole story. So I haven't spoken much about that since. Now, I never shut up to my friends and family, but I haven't delivered a speech since I left Capitol Hill. As a competitor, since my horses do usually speak for me, they were not remotely helpful in developing this speech. When I found out I was receiving this award, I thought it was for my accomplishments as an equestrian. When I had the opportunity, and excuse me if I'm reading this because I'm afraid I might cry. I'm a big crier. And so when I had the opportunity to read this, I wrote this down, when I found out I was receiving the award, I thought it was for my accomplishments as an equestrian. When I had the opportunity to proof some of the comments and the recommendations on why I I should be considered for this, it was my equestrian accomplishments, but it was about being here. I feel like someone here told them a little more about me, Angie and Wisjan, wherever you are, and other people may have submitted a little more information, excuse me, and about the horses. And I'm going to go back a little further. This may shock some of you and others not whatsoever. When I was admitted to Center College, I was painfully shy. I sported a brunette mullet. I was 110 pound soaking wet stick figure. I had an only child who graduated 50 in a class of 100. I had a 5-year-long hometown boyfriend who disappeared the day I got here. And I had never had a drop of alcohol. Don't you guys even stop? That was loud. Whoever did that, no. I had 0 extracurricular activities besides riding horses. In my heart, I know that there is no way I would be admitted to Center College today. This freshman girl arrived at Center as a bubbly, laughing, big blonde-haired babe with a dorm room that was adorned in all things pink. Pink microwave, pink television, pink comforter, pink carpeter. I even had a matching roommate. And we were a set that hailed from Knoxville, Tennessee. If I had on pink pajamas in my room, I might have been hard to locate. And I think some people in my hall called me Pepto-Bismol Barbie, but I can't confirm or deny that. I was allowed to bring my new sports card to Center College. It would have been easy for my freshman hall to label me in any number of ways if they hadn't already. You can fill in the blanks where that could have gone. Regina George, we only wear pink on Wednesdays. I'm not sure. But they never did. They embraced me, and I certainly embraced them. We may have grown up in many different ways, but our differences made us appreciate the strength and qualities in my fellow students. I learned, being from Knoxville, Tennessee, I learned the different ways we grow up, and they're different. I learned that many people from Kentucky are from a county. That was different to me. Hi, I'm Suzanne, and I'm from Hart County. Yeah, that was new, but I learned, and like I said, that was what we, that's what we do. We learn from each other. And I loved it from the day that Bitsy's family helped me load in everything pink. I know they still talk about it. It's okay. And so I learned my soon-to-be little sister in my sorority taught me how to bake a pie when she found out that I had never learned to turn on the stove. My mom wasn't big on that. And the NCAA Final Four women's basketball team, of which was my sorority and my dearest friends, recognized that I didn't show much athletic ability apart from showing a horse. But they did put me on their intramural basketball team and literally wiped out everyone on the court but me, and gave me anywhere from 12 to 50 shots to make a basket. And when I did, they cheered for me in a way that would have made you think I was Caitlin Clark. I still have that intramural victory t-shirt. Terry, thank you. Okay. Diversity takes on many forms. At Center, my friends crossed every Greek organization, campus activity that you can name. They came from every community with every type of family background. I never asked about it because it didn't matter. We shared the Center experience. We were Center students. And the things that they brought to the table may have been completely different from mine, but I soaked it in because it added to my life. It added in the pieces of the puzzle that that made me better. But I end up with, I keep going back and we'll return to the theme that for me, Center, my takeaway from Center was my relationships, was the people in this room, this incredible group of people from all years, everything that you can imagine. In listening to this makes me think, what an amazing group of people. I can't wait to get to know. I mean, when someone tells me they're from the Center, immediately, we have that in common. It's easy to make assumptions about people. And as I said, with my pink bedroom, pink bow, Laura Ashley clothes, I was a lot, maybe. Yeah, as far as I know. I don't know. But I am sure they had never seen anything quite like me. That they can tell me now, they didn't tell me then, but they feel comfortable telling me now. But it was easy to make an assumption about me. And then when I had my sports car on campus, it was easy to roll their eyes. And some wrote me off, including professors, as I drifted off to sleep in class. They had no idea that I had flown all night from anywhere in the country competing horses. It was Dean Eric Mount was the sole person who knew there was more to my story, and he cheered for me. the reason I had my car at Center College was because I trained every morning, every night, and then left on the weekends to compete, because I was training to be the first captain of the United States equestrian team in my discipline. And we were scheduled to go to South Africa. I was a freshman at the time. I was also flying all over the country trying to qualify for nationals and the world championships. While I was at Center, I led Team USA to its first team gold in an international saddle seat competition. I won 3 individual gold medals and the overall individual gold medal. As a sophomore, I won the $25,000 American Saddlebred Grand National Scholarship by being the leading competitor in the United States. I donated that scholarship to Center College because as a family, we believed in paying it forward, and I was very blessed in every way. And so if someone else had an opportunity like I did, it was my honor to give that scholarship to this college to award to someone else to have that. As a side note, I was awarded, I was named the leading rider in the U.S. And for young riders as the role model to other young exhibitors in the United States. I never mentioned this at Center or to my friends. Friends and equestrians knew. But at Center, I did start doing other things besides ride horses. I pledged Kappa Alpha Theta, and where I found sisters I never had because I was an only child. Many are in the audience tonight. My peers at Center elected me to the student judiciary. However, the most wonderful thing I did was become a resident assistant and director. As a freshman RA, I saw Center through the eyes of freshmen. And I made it my mission that those girls, I appreciated all of their strengths. I learned more from them than they did from me. And I'm proud to say that 2 of them are on Center's board of trustees, Angie McDonald and Wijdan Yerstead. And they deserve it more than, and Center's fortunate to have them. They're amazing people. Elizabeth Scott was on my hall later in grad school because she actually knew something about statistics. Without her, I would not have graduated or been employed. And then Deborah Massey actually made it to Wincy Labs, and as a physician in Best Dressed in Louisville, we shared the honor of being the last carnival queens at Center. And do you think we caused that? Don't answer. Don't answer. But it goes back to me for relationships. I graduated from Center in Government and English with a solid 2.8 average. I was admitted to University of Tennessee College of Communication on probation. I turned it around, graduating near the top of my class, again, thanks to Elizabeth helping me not fail statistics. And as I lose my train of thought, I turned down the offer of crisis communication director for Boeing, dodged a bullet on that, and yeah. and instead accepted an offer to move to Capitol Hill. So everything in my life has always looked like the picture frame. I was married to a Navy SEAL, became Deputy Chief of Staff to a great congressman. I was still competing and chosen as captain of the U.S. equestrian team in 1999, returning to South Africa. My flatmate was a Ralph Lauren executive who was brilliant, funny, and an outstanding horseman. My new friend agreed to ride the worst horse, taking himself out of medal contention to give me a chance to win. It was a valiant effort, and we fell short by 12 points. I still won the overall individual silver medal, and Team USA claimed the silver. My new friend from New York became my best friend. His name is Carson Kressley. Some of you might know him as star of Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. He is still one of my closest friends today. And I walk red carpets with him. We still show horses together. I'm funnier than him, and it's back to relationships. Again, you're still thinking this girl has it made. She got everything she wanted, husband, job, friends. I got the picture frame. Well, until I didn't, because my life changed in an instant. Seems my husband continued to date while we were married and I traveled. I didn't know that was a thing, so we divorced. My congressman offered me the opportunity to run his office in D.C., and I grabbed it. 7 days before I was supposed to move back to D.C., my trainer and coach from the time I was 11 died at 50, and I found him in the hotel room of a massive heart attack at the World Championships. He was the closest person in my life. A new assistant at our barn, a South African named Jock Vannekerk on work visa, took over the operations, and I never went back to DC. With that loss, within a month, my mother was diagnosed with liver cancer. She was dead by Thanksgiving. On Christmas Eve, my father was given 3 days to live with AML. He did not make it. My aunt and godmother with no children was diagnosed with dementia, and I became her caregiver in 6 months. Yeah, that kind of changed my world forever. The people who helped me the most with it are Center College graduates, and it's back to relationships. Behind every strong person, there's a story that gave them no choice. When Jock started managing the farm, I didn't think I could pay him. I didn't know if his checks would cash, and he said he would stay no matter what. Relationships. Through the next decade, I returned frequently to those from Center. They helped me with everything I didn't understand with questions. They embraced me as if I'd seen them yesterday. They took their skills, their compassion, and literally helped me to survive. As I mentioned before, our backgrounds that were so different that brought us to Center were everything, but the camaraderie fostered over those 4 years connected in such a way that these people saved my life, and I'd do anything in my power for these people. They are my chosen family. I did mention that I have no relatives. I'm single. I have no cousins. I have no relatives. My friends from Center College are my chosen family. I did finally was forced to write it down, our accomplishments. When my family passed away, we had won 1 world championship. Today, we've won 64 world championships, 16 People's Choice Awards, 12 USEF Horse of the Year's Award. Jock and I are the only trainer and amateur to be inducted into the USEF Equestrian Hall of Fame in our discipline. My horse, Xander von Camelot, that I chose at 6 months old, is the #1 Frisian breeding stallion in the country today. And I am the leading Frisian breeder in the U.S. He was inducted into the Equus Hall of Fame with Bill Gates as Olympic hopeful, and Misty Wrigley's American Saddlebred, and I'm fortunate to call Misty friend relationships. And I paid $7,500 for my horse, and Bill paid $12 million. So there's that. Our budgets were a little different, but horse people recognize greatness in any sport. My last one, a year ago, my horse truck broke down beside the retaining wall at the Cincinnati Bridge. And I had 8 horses. I have never been so terrified in my life. And Jock, being so good at it, was able to sit that truck down before it caught fire. And while I could tell you any bill on Capitol floor and the thinking behind it, who to call, who to get a sponsor, I now suddenly understand exactly how a horse trailer works and how to set that down. And we got on the phone for help. And I put it on Facebook. And Betsy, again, picked up the phone and called Noel Higdon and Matt Grimes, the nicest human beings Center College I've ever known, from Erlanger, Kentucky. I had not seen them since I left Center College. And word was out, and I was stranded at their exit. And I turned around, and there was Matt's smiling face, who'd not changed a day since we went to Center, my freshman year homecoming date, walking down the interstate of 75 with 5 lanes of buzzing traffic. And I just smiled that sometimes I have no idea how things are working out, but they do. And I thought, that Center Mafia is far and wide. And he, for 8 hours, he and 3 other people worked on saving the hubcap, keeping my truck perfect. I was like, who's got a sledgehammer? We are not moving here. And we got the hubcap off and saved my horses. Now that I'm finished, do you remember my GPA? Do you remember my major? I hope you remember the people I mentioned. I hope this priceless lesson during my 4 years at Center, they carried me through my darkest hours and helped me open the next door. They are my chosen family. I didn't want to ask them to come. It's expensive. They want to be at Keeneland. It's our reunion. I didn't want anybody to give up something for me. And Kenny Klessman said, it's Vicki, we're going. and he loaded all of them up in a bus, and Marvin Buell said, "We got you, girl." And that sums up my relationship with my friends at Center. If you read the admissions application, ask yourself the qualities of the new students of the Center community. They're more than a box to be checked on a piece of paper. Their character and heart will be what matters 35 years later. Tonight, my car wouldn't start at the hotel. I missed the entire dinner. The phone was locked in the car. Every one of these people are like, "Has anyone even seen Vicki?" So typical. But again, she'll be here. It's just her. They've met me. Again, it's those people that I'll treasure forever. Thank you for all of you who journeyed here tonight to listen to this really long speech, for all the convos that I sat here and listened to a lot of really long speeches. Thank you for everyone who selected me for this honor, because I don't know that I was the wild card. I mean, I'm reading about all of you. I was like, where, really? Thank you, because this place and thinking of me now means everything to me.
Thank you, Vicki. Our third distinguished alumni honoree this evening is Steve Leyland. He's a cardiothoracic surgeon and has a very impressive resume, as you will see.
When Steve Leyland arrived on staff campus in 1972 as a pre-med baseball student athlete, it was the beginning of an active relationship with the college and with the medical field. In addition to playing baseball, Steve was a member of the Phi Delta Theta fraternity, chairman of the Pre-Medical Society, and chairman of the American Chemical Society. Following his graduation from Center, Steve attended Wright State University School of Medicine and earned his medical degree in 1981, graduating second in his class. While at Wright State, Steve received a number of awards, including the Academy of Medicine Award for Outstanding Academic Achievement. He served as a diplomat to the National Board of Medical Examiners. Following graduation, Steve continued with the surgery department of Wright State University Hospital for his residency. He served as chief resident and was recognized as the outstanding resident and was honored with the WSU Department of Surgery Teaching Excellence Award. Steve then went on to the University of Alabama at Birmingham Medical Center to receive his training in cardiac and thoracic surgery. He was once again chief resident. Since completing his residency, Steve has gone on to an illustrious career. He is currently in practice in Spartanburg, South Carolina. His specialties include ischemic heart disease, valvular heart disease, and diseases of the aorta.
Steve, congratulations.
Well, hello. I'm a member of the class of '76, going way back. And the question that was posed to me was to basically try to define how Center influenced my career as I went through, on past the termination of my time here at Center. There's a lot of moving parts, when you're trying to figure out how you're going to do things when you're a student. And I basically was reflecting on that, and I kind of broke down the academic part of the education here and the social aspects of it. And I kind of put 60% for academic and 40% for the stuff you like to do. Originally I was a math major, but I got as far as differential equations, and I said that's enough of that, and I became a chemistry major, which was a really good choice for me. And I had some amazing teachers, which I kind of like to go through some of those individually. Dr. Charles Gerard was by far my favorite professor. He just had this aura about him of calmness, and when he presented a class, it was so structured, and pretty much everything made sense to me. And I think he was really the driving force behind me moving on in the chemistry. He was both a chemistry and a physics teacher. And then there was Dr. Weisiger, who I had for organic chemistry. And organic chemistry was something I really did well with, and was just kind of what I really liked at that point. Dr. Walkup. Now, Dr. Walkup, for those of you who have been here long enough, he was the emeritus professor of the chemistry department, and he was a very interesting character. We had inorganic chemistry 1 and 2, which he covered, but we had classroom sessions and we had lab sessions. Now, I particularly liked the lab sessions because I could ask him questions, and he had a very, very specific technique of chewing tobacco, and that really disturbed. Basically, in the lab, no women would talk to him. I always, on the other hand, asked him questions because he had this amazing talent of chewing tobacco and being able to continue to speak without any pauses. In addition, he was able to collect the tobacco juice in the corner of his mouth, and he could eject it approximately 2.5 feet into a garbage can, and I never saw a drop. I never saw a drop hit the floor. It was really remarkable. And I always asked him a question, by the way, every time we had a lab session. Even if I knew the answer, I asked him a question. Yeah. Dr. Letcher I had a class with him. He was a biology professor, but I only had one class with him, and it was a comparative anatomy course where we had to dissect the cat and identify all the different parts of the cat, the heart, lungs, muscles, nerves, and so forth. And I think that might have been the precursor for me to become interested in surgery. And let's see. And I think I've covered most of the professors, but the education that I received here, it really was so well organized for me, at least, because I got here when I was 17 years old, a little bit. I was probably the youngest one in our class. And it took me a year or so to kind of get my feet off the ground. And it just sort of evolved where everything sort of came into place by the time I reached my 3rd and 4th year. The social aspects, though, were just as important. I was a member of the fraternity, the Phi Delta fraternity. I played baseball. And we had, there were lots of different things you could do, in terms of outside the academic world here. And I think those were just as instrumental in really developing somebody in terms of how they're going to move on in life. And I think when you put it all together, it was very cohesive, and really for me, when I look back on it, it just all fit into place. Now, I forgot one professor, Dr. Hammond. I forgot to mention him probably because I didn't like his class that much. However, he was a very good professor, and I took biology, microbiology under his service, and that was kind of a mistake. I started out in that class, and I started to realize pretty quickly that this is going to be a hard class, because I think we had to memorize roughly 40,000 insects, what they did, and what kind of car they drove. It was really demanding. And ultimately, I had biochemistry with him too, which actually was a even more demanding case, but it all made sense to me because it had more chemistry involved. And when I went to medical school, the biochemistry test they gave us was so easy compared to what we had here at Center. But when you put it all together, though, my education here was exceptional. I was very fortunate to choose this school, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and thank you.
Our final honoree this evening is a fellow history major. Lisa Swim will be our last distinguished alumna honoree this evening.
When she arrived on campus in 1975, Lisa was a three-sport athlete, competing in basketball, softball, and track and field teams. She was a resident assistant, a member of the yearbook staff, the choir, and the orchestra, and served as editor of the Cinto, all while making the Dean's List on her way to a degree in history. Following her graduation from Center, Lisa went on to complete an MAT in Social Studies from Colgate University and a JD from Notre Dame Law School. While at Notre Dame, Lisa reprised her role as an editor with the Journal of College and University Law. Lisa has dedicated her career to school law and legal issues. She has been admitted to the bar by the state of Michigan, the U.S. District Court, U.S. Court of Appeals, and the U.S. Supreme Court. Lisa currently serves with the Throne Law Firm, where she is devoted to serving Michigan public schools. For over a decade, she authored the monthly law column for the Michigan Association of Secondary School Principals. Lisa's dedication to education has been gathered not only in her professional pursuits, but also in her volunteer work. She has remained dedicated to her alma mater, having served on both the President's Advisory Council and as the president of the Center Alumni Board of Directors.
Congratulations, Lisa.
Well, that first picture, I was looking for Amelia Earhart that night. I didn't find her. She wasn't in the library, that's for sure. Anyway, thank you. The words of our alma mater, Center Deer, remind us that where thy tree-lined pathways lure, friendships spring eternal, sure. 49 years ago, I first walked those pathways, not yet understanding the gift of a Center College education, including lessons learned both in and out of the classrooms, as well as the gymnasium, playing field, concert hall, and searching for Amelia Earhart. As an alumna, I cherish those experiential pathways and the friendships of those who walked with me, including coaches and professors, especially Dr. Lee, Dr. Cavness, and Dr. Riegelman. Center's gifts continue to give, and I, like so many alumni, remain steadfast in our loyalty to the college. I am humbled and honored to receive this award. Thank you.
Please join me in giving one more round of applause to these 9 very inspirational individuals. Yes, stand up. We are going to continue celebrating tonight's honorees with a dessert reception over in the Norton Center lobby for anyone who would like to step over and congratulate the honorees in person after this. We would love to have you join us. I will ask the honorees to please stick around for a group picture. Otherwise, thank you. I hope you all have a wonderful homecoming weekend, and we'll see you on campus tomorrow.